Welcome to another episode of Discover St. Cloud, Florida. I'm Krista McCary, and I'm here with your host,
Janine Corcoran, broker for Corcoran Connect, a real estate company.
And it is that time of the month for a market report, which I cannot believe it's already March.
Spring break already.
I know, it really is. So do you want to kick us off with 34769?
Sure thing. So 34769, which covers most of the downtown area in St. Cloud. We had 25 homes that sold at 238.80, sorry, 0.08. I'm dyslexic today. And of that, 22 of them was single stories. They came in at 247.08, and 3 were two stories at 172.06.
So your month over month average is still seeing gains in 34769. You're up 1.6% from last month, and you're up 7.7% from the previous year. So February 2022, you're up 7.71%. Days to contract, it's about 43 days to go under contract and then 75 days to close. So you're looking at about, a 2.5 months if you want to get out at a specific time, kind of planning for that 2.5 to 3 months time frame to get out. Your active properties, there's about 62 active homes, and with the 25 we had sold, that gives you about a 2.5 month supply. Wow. So still really healthy, although I think that's probably going to always be our healthiest zip code because it has the most entry level homes, if you will.
For sure.
Definite best price point. So what's in 34771 down by our office?
34771, we had 83 homes that sold at 220.09 price per square foot. Of that single stories, 41 of them sold at 248.93 and 42 sold at 191.94. They're pretty much split in half.
Right. And so you're looking at month over month, you're down a little bit, about 2.48% from January of 2024. And year over year, you're still up 6.4%. And so it's funny because I saw how many homes sold and I was like, wow, that kind of seems low for like 34771, right? But then I pulled the numbers for February of 2022 and we had like 30 more sales this February. So it's actually like not
on par.
Yeah, exactly. So your days to contract is about 73 days to contract and 105 days to close. So you're looking at like 3.5 months to get closed. So, maybe if you're considering trying to move over the summer, now's a really good time to go ahead and give us a call and, talk about listing your property in the 34771 zip code. With the 233 active homes on the market, you're looking at about a 2.8 month supply. So
another quick short time.
Yep.
Then we have 34772, where 59 homes sold at 217.38 price per square foot. Of that, single stories, there were 40, which came in average at 233.30, and then 19 two stories at 183.85.
So your averages, your month over month is actually up again this month. So you're 6.3% up from January of 2024. Year over year, you're still seeing gains as well at 3.3% year over year increase. It's taking about 70 days to go under contract. So again, 2.5 months to go under contract and 104 days to close. So that's like 3.5 months. Oh, wow. So that might have been some situations where it was on the market, off the market, on the market again type thing. With 184 active homes, you're looking at about a 3-month supply.
Oh, wow.
So, and then that takes us to 34773.
So 34773, the sleepy zip code. We only had 8 properties that sold. Now remember, these are single family homes. So we did have some townhouses and condos that might have closed in that area. And this also, it has 4 of the 8 were actually 55 and older. But anyway, so of the 8, the average price per square foot is 207.63. 6 of them were single stories at 213.61, and 2 were two stories at 189.72.
So your month over month averages are up about 5.7%. Year over year, you're down a hair at 1.21%. But again, it's such a small data set that it's really hard to define real trends in that particular area. You'd have to compare house to house. Your median days to contract, which means it's just basically the middle of the road, was about 65 days to go under contract and 102 days to close. So a lot of zip codes were in that 3.5 month range, to get an offer and to get it closed. There are currently 64 active single family home properties on the market, and that's not necessarily including every single new construction home, right? Not the builders don't list every single property, but gives you a good idea. You're looking at about an 8-month supply out in 34773. So I think, it's probably a lot to do with the new construction. I mean, we have two, like if you're looking at 34773 as a whole, it covers a large swath of land, but like
Lot of
in
new
reality,
construction.
it's just Harmony West, Harmony, and then Harmony Central
Right.
that are like Pine Grove. Maybe I guess you could. No, that's 34771, isn't it? Yeah. So anyway, so it's not
Interesting.
it's crazy.
You want to go to vacant land?
Sure. What do we got going on over in the vacant land this month?
So it looks like we had 10 parcels that sold. Of the 10, the largest one that sold was am I looking at it right? 4.79?
Yep.
Okay, good. 4.79 acres. It's on LaSalle. It was listed for 305 and sold for 300,000. So
Yep.
it was almost 5 acres.
Yep. And then there was one other parcel on Old Melbourne Highway, about 4.3 acres, and that was listed at 419 and sold for 360. So
Interesting.
I'll be curious to see if there's anything that you can really do. I mean, 5 acres, just under 5 acres, isn't really a ton of land to like put like a development in or anything
No.
like that. So, I can maybe that'll be just somebody.
And all the sales were
individual.
cash.
Yes, every single one. Interesting.
Yep.
Where do you get that cash? Anybody know? All right. And so then that leaves us, last but not least, with our Harmony market report and what went on in Harmony this month.
Okay, so in Harmony, we had in Ashley Park, we had one condo that sold. It was a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath, 1668. I actually sold it. It listed at 285 and sold at 285. Then we go on to our custom homes, where in the estates, 7138 Oak Glen Trail sold, listed at 685, sold at 665, and that came in at 198.74 price per square foot. That one was on the market for a very long time. Actually, Bill sold that one.
Yes.
Then we had 4 properties. 4 properties in South Lake, and the price per square foot came out to 222.63. They're all single stories, of course. And then you move on to Harmony West. So Harmony West started closing their new townhome. So we have 3 on record. I'm sure more has sold through the builder, but the 3 that sold, the price per square foot came out to 216.44. So they're selling in the looks like in the low 300s, and they're all 3 bedrooms, 2.5 baths.
Yep.
And then then we have Harmony West had 2 sales. One was a 2-story, one was a single story. A single story came in at 223.04, and the 2-story came in at 180.70. And lastly, only one record, which is so strange because I get so much advertising from them, is Harmony Central.
Yes.
On record, they only show one that sold for $518,900. It's a 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath, and that one is a single story. So price per square foot was a 168.09.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was over 3,000 square feet.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's pretty high one. I haven't seen one that high. in
Yeah, I
Harmony
haven't
Central.
either. That's crazy. Okay. Well, that kind of wraps up where we are this month in terms of, market sales and activity. We had a big open house just this weekend with our active properties in Harmony. A lot of great families that came by, and funny how many Harmony Shuffle residents there are.
Yes.
We kind of coined that term in our neighborhood because, you tend to like buy a house and then maybe your needs change, your family change, but you're not leaving the community.
Well,
You just
sometimes
wanna
they
make a
get
shuffle.
to a street and they're like, oh, I don't like living on the street.
Right.
And it's interesting.
Yeah. And especially so speaking from somebody who came from the original section of Harmony with the rear loading garages and the front porches, to be honest, and I love my house. It's a beautiful home. It's a new home. I love all that stuff and I have great neighbors, but I miss that. I miss the big front porch. I have chairs on my front porch, but you can't sit there. You're basically hitting the it's not like a comfortable experience. And I really liked the rear loading garages. So there's something to that more historic area of Harmony that I think sometimes when people move for the houses, then they're like, oh wait, I don't actually like living on these streets.
And Martha and Jim
whatever.
Lentz put a lot of time and effort into designing that for purpose.
Right. And
so-
it was for a reason. Front porch community, right?
Yep.
Was the idea behind Harmony and being able to talk to your neighbors and hang out and sit out there and watch your kids. And I really love how spacious those front porches are. So I do miss that at times. I mean, again, I love my house and I don't want to have to deal with moving again. So that's not an issue, but I don't know. Maybe somebody wants to buy everything inside the house so I don't have to move anything. That'd be great. But yeah, so it's it was a good weekend, and so hopefully things are coming around. I think people are getting, and we said this last month, right, that people would probably get like a little restless, like waiting for the interest rates to change, and or the market to change, and that's not.
Well, I have one. I won't say his name, but when I was talking to him, and I know what his dream home looked like, or dream land looked like, and he's in a house that he moved from small to a little bit bigger, but now the kids are big, and they're just ready for the next one. But they didn't want to leave because of their interest rate.
Right.
Until I said to him, okay, well, is this your dream house? Are you going to stay married to this house?
Right.
Just because of interest rates? And then he thought, well, that's silly. If I can afford that next house at these interest rates, why would I keep my dreams stifled because of an interest rate?
Right.
So he did it. He said what you told me just made perfect sense.
Yeah.
But it doesn't work for everyone.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you have to be able to afford the current rate for the next property, but if you can, I mean, it's actually a great time to buy because there's a lot less competition out there. So it's a great time.
And with all resales, I mean, even though we put some perks on certain houses, like closing costs and things like that, just like the builder does, right? I mean, any house. You make an offer. You make an offer. Yeah, you just make an offer. I have people say, "Oh, I don't like the color refrigerator or the paint," and I'm like that's so silly to me.
Right.
But that's me because I'm in the world all the time. Right. But I'm just like, okay, don't let a type of refrigerator stop you from making an offer.
Right. Make the offer that you're going to get a credit for a new refrigerator.
Yeah.
Whatever at this point. So there's definitely some creative ways to,
buying down the rate.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Right.
With your mortgage person. Does paying closing costs make more sense than buying down the rate? That's their job to weigh that out.
Right. And they'll give you, and a good mortgage lender will give you those options and tell you what the best bet is, So, again, if you're kind of getting itchy and you're on the fence there, just check it out because there are a lot of options out there for buyers if you're looking for property. So don't let the fear of the market, get in your way. It's really
the rate fear.
Yeah, the rate fear is it's not changing. So anyway, that is it for this market report. Thank you so much for joining us. We will see you next month for the end of the first quarter, which is crazy. You can always find us online.
You can find us on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook.
Yep. You can
LinkedIn.
Check us. Yep. You can check us out wherever you get your favorite podcasts. And then if you have any comments or questions, you can give us a call.
At 1-844-St. Cloud. That's STCLOUD.
Or send us an email at discoverstcloud@gmail.com. And thanks again for joining us.
Thank you.
We'll see you in the next episode.